Hi guys, I'm so glad that I'm on. Facebook wouldn't let me on, but here I am. Here I am. Hello, how is everybody today? Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to come to you with part two of my three-part series, 3 reasons why you're not making six figures in your business. So when you're here, say hello, let me know that you're on. I'm going to recap a little bit of part one, although that was a great video. If you haven't seen part one, then definitely go and watch that video because they really are 3 very distinct reasons. One thing that I do want to just put out there is while I'm talking about six figures, this could be for any revenue that you're trying to generate. So you might not be on a mission to make six figures in your business, and that's totally fine. And you might be on a mission to make a lot more. You might be on a mission to make multiple six figures or more, and that is fine too. I use six figures because that's just a good milestone. It is a milestone that many people work towards, and like I said in video one, I really believe that if you or when you hit six figures in your business, it just means that you have a lot of the foundational pieces in place that help create a sustainable business. Because once you have these pieces in place, then right, it's pretty easy to consistently get around six figures when all of this foundational stuff is firmed up. So you don't have to be on a mission for six figures for this to all apply to you. You can, hi Noella, hi Carmen, you can enter any revenue amount you want to make, and the lessons from this week apply. So when you are here though, tell me how many of you are trying to make six figures in your business. How many of you are trying to make more than six figures in your business? My hair is out of control, guys. It is humid today. I don't know where you all are in Washington, D.C. It's like humid today. Okay. Hi, Lisa. So yeah, so that's just the first caveat. You don't have six figures is just, there's nothing magical about six figures. It's something that, like I said, most people try to work towards, and that's why I use it in the title. And I really do believe that if you can hit six figures in your business, that means you've got the foundations pretty tight and in place for your business to run like a well-oiled machine. But there is no magic to six figures. You can want less and you can want more, and all of this applies. So on Monday, we talked about reason one. I'm not going to recap the whole thing. You can go back and watch the video. It was a really good video. I really suggest that you go back and watch, reason one. I know I'm playing with my hair, but it's really like, it's frizzy today. And it's hot. It's hot in my house today. And now I'm just thinking about how hot it is in here. It's getting hot in here. All right, so anyway, part one, on Monday. Go back and watch that video. It's pinned to the top of the group is the announcement. The short story is people aren't making six figures. So this is reason one, not today's reason, the reason for Monday, because they're not doing enough. They're not being visible enough. They're not selling enough. They're not doing enough, because they're afraid of being annoying. And that was like part one, right? A lot of people start getting really afraid of being annoying. They're gonna see me too many times. I'm gonna post too many times. They're gonna be annoyed by me. They're gonna whatever. Annoyed is the only word I can think of. They're gonna be annoyed by me. And so what I said is a non-negotiable in part one for being able to reach six figures is to get over your fear of being annoying. Yeah, you have to get over your fear of being annoying. And I go into detail in video one about how to do that and what I mean by not doing enough, right? Because solid gold dancer. That's right, Phoebe. I wish I had a video of that. I wish I had a video of me doing the solid gold dancing. And I also talk about what I mean by not doing enough, because what I don't want you to do is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so what we're talking about today is reason number two. So reason number one, that you're not hitting, and again, hi Mina, hi people who are joining in. For people who have just joined in, right? Again, no magic to six figures. I'm using this as a milestone because I believe that if you hit six figures in your business, it just means you have foundations down that will allow you to be sustainable and run your business like a well-oiled machine. But this can be for any amount of revenue that you want. And mistake number one, right? that, or not mistake, but reason number one that people aren't hitting six figures that we talked about on Monday was that they have a fear of being annoying and they're not doing enough. So they're not getting visible enough. They're not asking for the sale enough. They're not marketing enough. They're not networking enough. They're not doing these things enough because they have this inherent fear of being annoying. And so in Monday's video, which is pinned to the top of the group as an announcement, you can go check it out. I talk about how to get over that fear and what I really mean by not doing enough, because once people hear that they're not doing enough, then they hop over to what we're talking about today. Right? And reason number two that you don't have six figures or you're not hitting six figures in your business is because you're doing too much, right? So it's like, what? You're telling me I'm not doing enough. And now, Rita, you're telling me that I'm doing too much. Yes. And these videos go into detail to explain that, right? And so then, right, people will go, oh, well, I'm not doing enough. I'm not getting clients. I'm not making money. So I need to do more. But when they say they need to do more, they start doing more by doing many things, okay? So they'll be like, oh, well, I'm networking here, but I need to network here, here, and here. I'm speaking, I'm doing Facebook Lives, and so now I also need to like do a podcast. I'm on Twitter, and now I need to be on Instagram, and now I need to run a Facebook group, and I also need to do Pinterest. I need to do Pinterest. There are a lot of things around that, right? Around the need to do too many things. And I was talking to a client the other day. It was really funny. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I was talking to a client the other day. She's created a Facebook group and a Facebook community. It's going to be a great community. And she's been working on it and working on it and working on it, right? And I'm like, we eventually have to be done with working on it so that we're able to release it to the world, right? And let people come in and let it be a community. And so we got on our latest session the other day and she was like, yeah, and I've also decided to like go on Pinterest and have this presence on Pinterest and to drive traffic to the blog that I'm gonna write and to like she started doing all the things before her Facebook group was even open. And I said, so what's going on there, lady? And she was like, it didn't happen right away. We had to dig, right? You know me, digging under the thing, under the thing, under the thing. And she was like, I don't really believe this Facebook group is gonna work. Like that's really what it was. She had a fear that people wouldn't join the group. She was like, I don't think people are gonna join this group. And because of that, right, because she had this fear that it wasn't gonna work, she then hopped to something else, right? But she also had a fear that that wasn't going to work, like the blog, right? A fear that that wasn't going to work. So she was going to go to Pinterest, right? And I guarantee that if I had let her go down that rabbit hole, she would have a fear that Pinterest isn't going to work, and so she'll hop to something else. How many of you honestly can say that that's ever been true for you? Because I 100% know that it's been true for me, right? Where you start doing something and then you're like, that isn't going to work. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think I'm going to make sales this way, so I need to try a different way. Or you're like, or I'm not going to get members from doing this. I need to also add this. Or I'm not going to get somebody to this event by marketing it down this avenue, so I need to go down a different avenue, right? But that also shows up in other ways. Chasing more than one fox, so kind of chasing more than one rabbit, but really to me that's two streams of income. When I talk about chasing two rabbits, I mean somebody who just starts their business and they're like, all right, I'm gonna be a coach, and then they're like, okay, and I'm also gonna sell something completely unrelated to what my coaching is. And it's like, no, no, stop. That's chasing two rabbits, right? That'll be a different series for a different day. This is more like not having belief that the thing that you're gonna do will work. And so you start doing more things, not more of the same thing, because you think that that's not gonna work, right? So again, to put it back in the Facebook group example, if somebody has a Facebook group and they're running it and they're posting it and nobody's responding, maybe it's a brand new group and so it's slow to get members and only a few people are commenting and only a few people are posting their own stuff, eventually what will happen, right, because it's very uncomfortable to sit in that place of not seeing the results yet, not seeing the engagement, not seeing the posts, not seeing that, they will get uncomfortable with not seeing results and they'll go, okay, I have to do something else to get my business going because this Facebook group isn't working. And then they'll hop over to LinkedIn, or they'll hop over to Twitter, or they'll hop over to a blog, or they'll hop over to a podcast, or they'll hop over to something, right? When really what they should have done was more of the same thing, right? They should have stuck with the Facebook group and just done more because of reason number one that we talked about on Monday. They're not being seen enough. They're not getting visible enough. They're not stepping into their expert status enough. They're not making enough sales. They're not. So really, that whole do less to get more isn't about like just doing less. I mean, it is, but it's like you're still doing more. You're doing more of one thing instead of doing a little of a lot of things. Does that make sense? And so this becomes really important because when you're trying to do all the things, you effectively do nothing. Right? You're doing things, but it's not effective, right? Because your results, excuse me, your results are equivalent to the action you take, which is what we talked about on Monday. So if you're only being a little bit visible, you're only going to get a little bit of results. If you're only kind of asking for the sale, you're only going to get kind of an interest. If you're only like showing up every now and then, you're only going to have people show up in your world every now and then, because the quote that I shared that day, right, is your money is as consistent as you are. Your money is as grand as you are. Your money is as you are, right? Your money is as you are. So however money is showing up in your life, it's because of how you are showing up in your business, right? And so if you want consistent money, you've got to be consistent. But if you want big money, then you've got to show up in a big way in your business, because are kind of like the all-in idea with the business, Beth. I know people like multiple streams of income. They always bring up Richard Branson to me. I'm a big fan of multiple streams of income. I believe they do have to have a big, large umbrella that they are under, but I don't believe that you should go on to a second stream of income until the first stream of income is coming consistently and efficiently and effectively, and you no longer have to really be a part of that. So you can put your full time and attention over to this other stream of income, right? But that, again, it's another thing for another day. So people are like very uncomfortable when they're not seeing results from the thing that they've chosen to do. And so to make themselves feel comfortable, they'll hop over to something new, right? A distraction, something new to do, either a new way to market or, sorry guys, I'm like dying today. I better not be getting sick. I can't get sick. Let's all send good energy for Rita to not get sick. Or they are just, so they'll distract themselves with a new way to market, or they'll make a new offering, okay? They'll make a new offering. They'll come up with like a new idea. So reason number one from Monday that you're not making enough money in your business, you're not doing enough, right? You're not doing enough, so people aren't seeing you. And the reason people aren't seeing you or buying from you or believing you or trusting you is because you're not getting visible enough, you're not being an expert enough, you're not asking for the sale enough, because you have a fear of being annoying. And so you have to nip that in the bud. That's the video for Monday. You can go watch that. Reason number two is you're doing too much. You're doing too much because as you pick a strategy and you start executing on the strategy and you're not getting instant results, you're uncomfortable. And you're uncomfortable and maybe sometimes feeling a little desperate because you're like, I need money. I need it right now, right? And when you make decisions from a place of fear in your business, nothing good ever happens. I've never heard anybody say, you know what, this relationship this decision I made from this really fearful place, boy, it was great. It's like, no, not usually, right? Thank you, Lisa. I am well and healthy. If I'm not, I will talk to Monica. I will get some oils and be well and healthy. Yes, MLM hoppers is what I see all the time. It's the same, even in your own business, what will happen is somebody will put out an offer and then they'll be like, nobody's buying that offer, so I need to make another offer, right? But really the reason nobody bought the first offer was because of reason number one. Like, you're not doing enough, right? You're not doing enough. But instead of just doing something else, you should just do more of that thing, meaning they should just market that offer more. They should connect with more people. They should be more visible. They should do more. But they're like, oh my gosh, I put out an offer. Nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying tickets to this event. Nobody's buying this workshop. Nobody's signing up to learn about this group coaching program. Nobody's clicking to have a clarity call with me. So I need to make another offer. I need to, instead of this event, I need to run a group. Instead of a group, I need to offer private. Instead of private, I need to offer a workshop. Instead of a workshop, I need to do a retreat, right? Like just hop over to something else completely because they don't want to sit and wait for the results because it's an uncomfortable place to be, right? So then that's why they start. I know it was your affirmation. That's why I said, at least I said, I am well and healthy. I am well and healthy. I am well and healthy. I am. That's a good one. And see, I need to put that on here, but I have my own little, just like a sneak peek, right? I am, right? My own little affirmation every day. I am. So anyway, people do too much because they're afraid that the thing that they're not going to do is working. The problem is people pick up on that feeling. People pick up on that energy. When you are hopping around between all the marketing things, you're not in any one place long enough to build trust with any person, right? If you're not in your Facebook group more and more and more, and instead you're spreading yourself over all of these platforms, like you're not going to get the results that you want. You'll only get a few results maybe from a few different places, but you're not going to get those big results that you really want. If you're making multiple offers, right, besides sales stuff that we're really not talking about here in terms of like confusion and how the brain works with sales, right, you are sending a signal out to your audience that you don't even trust the thing that you're doing. Right? So if you're like, I'm going to create a Facebook group and this is going to be my community and this is going to be like my home, and then like you're barely in there and you're over on Pinterest, that people don't trust you. They're like, oh my gosh, she doesn't follow through with what she says. Also, she must not believe in this group because she's not in this group all the time. And if she's not in this group all the time, I'm not going to be in this group all the time. Now, they might not be consciously thinking that, right? But that's what's happening. So they lose trust with you. They lose trust with you a lot of different ways. But this is one way. When you're doing too much, right? You think, oh, see, if I do all of these things, then I'm going to get more visibility and I'm going to get more clients and I'm going to build more relationships and I'm going to meet more people and I'm going to make more sales. And it's like, no, you're not, right? Like you're going to do the exact opposite of what you think you're going to do. So by doing more and doing all the things, you think I am just going to expand my net and I'm going to expand all of these relationships and webs and I'll have more opportunities to meet people and make relationships. But the problem is you're not going deep enough in any one way that you're actually doing that, right? And again, because you have so much to do and you're only in there a little bit, you're afraid in each place because of reason number one for Monday, to be annoying. And if you're afraid to be annoying, then you're really in these areas still not doing things. You're not showing up enough and you're not asking for the sale enough and you're not stepping into your expert status enough and, right? So there is this happy middle between not doing enough and doing too much, right? So when people come to me, so a lot of you know that right now I'm taking applications for my mastermind called the Six Figure CEO Mastermind. This used to be called, up until this year, the Momentum Mastermind. But really, as I've run this mastermind for a couple of years, and the Six Figure CEO Mastermind was really the name that seemed to jive with all of the participants that I have and that keep returning, because again, nothing magical about six figures, right? And you don't have to make six figures to be in that group. But the concept of making six figures means I've got my business running like a well-oiled machine. I'm stepping into this CEO's like level and status of my business. And one thing a CEO does is not too much, right? Like the CEO has just enough on their plate for their day to get through what they need to get through. They're focused, they're streamlined, they are efficient. They have a strategy, they work the strategy. They're committed to the strategy. They stick with this strategy. If you're the CEO of a successful business, right? So how many of you feel, and if you're watching on replay, please let me know, and please answer this question too, but how many of you feel like, yeah, I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of doing too many things, right? I'm guilty of it. It could be that you plan an event for a meetup group you run or something, and you plan an event for, I don't know, the end of October, and you start marketing it and nobody's RSVPing. So now you add in like 4 other events, right? And I'm not saying that having multiple events in your group isn't bad, but like it shows, well, I don't think anybody's going to come to this event. So now I need to create like other events instead of just showing up and marketing this one event all the time and driving everybody to this event. So what will happen is you're only marketing a lot of events. And so you're only going to get a little bit of turnout at a lot of events instead of like massive turnout at one event, right? And so there are times that it makes sense to start adding more events after you get like the one main event, like running like a well-oiled machine, right? Then add another and then add another. And so this happens in all kinds of businesses, right? Again, I see this with like people who run programs or do coaching or consulting, or they'll have a package and they'll put out their marketing for a package, and then they just like get real scared that nobody's going to buy that maybe they priced it too high, that maybe they're marketing to the wrong audience because they're not getting instant feedback, instant results, instant hits. Guys, here's something I told my client the other day too. A different client, not the client I talked about at the beginning of this. People wait until the last 48 hours to do almost anything, right? And this proves true for my client who was in the middle of a launch. And I said, look, you have to, if your launch is 2 weeks long, if you're marketing something for 2 weeks, you have to keep the energy just as high on the last hour as it was at the first hour. And you have to keep that energy high all the way through, right? But what happens is people will start marketing something that they're really excited about, and they'll be excited about it, and then there are no tickets sold, or there are no applications submitted, or there's nobody like expressing an interest, or no clarity calls scheduled. So then their energy drops. And they think maybe they're still showing high energy, but I guarantee people pick up on energy all the time, and people mirror back that energy, right? So as your energy drops and excitement drops, their energy drops and excitement drops. Well, what happens then, right, is that you start getting like desperate and scared. You're like, oh my gosh, like now you don't even really like the thing that you started marketing or the way you started marketing because it's not getting you results, and you're scared and you're afraid that you're not going to make money off of this, and this isn't going to work, and this isn't going to happen, right? So now your energy's low and their energy is low, but now you're freaked out and you're like, I don't think this is going to work. And so they pick up on that energy. I don't think that this is going to work. And so I need hand puppets. I don't think that this is gonna work. I don't think that this is gonna work, right? And then it's like, I need to do more things, right? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll start doing hand puppet shows. That would be different, right? And so they'll do something. They'll like, okay, so I have to bail on this. I have to close out this launch. You know what? I'm going to reschedule the date of this group coaching program. I'm not running it in the fall. I'm going to run it in the spring. Or, you know what? Instead of just marketing for clarity calls because nobody's doing that, now I'm going to create this whole new group thing, and I'm going to drive people over to the group. Or like, see what I'm saying? Like, so when you start something and you start something with excitement, right? What will happen is people, the reason you're not seeing results are people are waiters. People wait. That's what people do. They wait till the last 48 hours usually to click and buy, to click and for a variety of reasons, right? All kinds that we're not going into on this video. But that, just take that to be true, okay? 48 hours, the last 48 to 24 hours is when people will really do something. If everything that came before it, right, the things we talked about in video 1 in this video have been working, that's when most of people will pull the trigger. But if you start getting freaked out because you're not seeing results, right, and so you're like, I have to do something else, my Facebook group isn't working, and this isn't working, or this offer is not working, it's not getting interest, so now I have to market a different way, or I have to market a different thing, right? So they're not only mirroring your energy back, like, I'm less excited, they're less excited, I don't think this is going to work, they don't think this is going to work. They start feeling like it's not going to work because now you're making different offers, or you're pulling back from showing up in one place, and you're starting to spread yourself over all these other places, and they pick up on that frantic, desperate, scarcity, afraid energy, even if you think they aren't, they are. And then like they go away. And maybe you decide you're not even going to offer the thing. Like, you halfway through your launch, you bail on it. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to cancel this event. Like, I put up a meetup. I see this in meetup all the time. I put up a meetup event, and it's in 4 weeks, and it's been 5 days, and no one's RSVP'd for it. And I'm like, look, just keep going, keep going. And then like 10 days in, they're like, I pulled it down. I rescheduled it for like 2 months later because nobody was RSVPing and nobody was saying yes, or only one person had RSVP'd so far or something, right? Like, do you guys see what I'm saying here? So Monday, the reason was you're not doing enough. Today, for whatever your revenue goal is, 6 figures or what, I don't care what your revenue goal is, you're not doing enough, or you're doing too much. Right? And you're doing too much because you're afraid. So number one, you're not doing enough because you have a fear of being annoying. And number two, you're doing too much because you are in a like scarcity, fear-based mindset of this isn't gonna work. And so I need to do more, or it's not working, so I need to do more. But instead of just doing more of the thing you're already doing, you add in all of these other things, or you make all of these other offers, and then you really aren't doing much of anything, and you aren't showing up in a way that builds deep relationships, and you're not, Jessica's like, yeah, so true, yes, right? Like, guys, a lot of you have been quiet, but I admitted to both of these before, right? I have done not enough because I had a fear of being annoying. And I have also done too much because I had a fear that it wasn't going to work, right? Instead of tapping into mindset and the support that I need in order to stick with the strategy that I have and sit in the discomfort and work through it, right? People can pick up on desperation. So true. People pick up on your energy, even if you think you're showing up. Don't think of energy just as this, as like your mannerisms and your tone of speech and it's all the other things you're doing with your consistency and your offers, and trust me, they're picking up on it. And so if you start doubting that the offer that you're making is going to actually sell and work, and you start making other offers, they are also going to believe that you don't trust in what you're doing, and they're not going to trust in what you're doing, right? If you decide that the one way that you're really nurturing relationships, newsletters, they're not working, nobody's writing back, nobody's clicking on links, and so you bail on newsletters and try something else, or you pull back and you add something else, like, then you stop showing up the way that you were showing up, and they start losing trust in you, right? So it's really important that you don't do too much. But then people are like, well, Rita said don't do a lot, right? Oh, right? It's like Rita said just sit and it'll all just happen. Rita never says that. Rita, one thing that you know is true with Rita is action is the most important thing, right? Waiting is not passive. In fact, I read this in my Bible devotional yesterday, was waiting is not a passive thing, it's active. You have to do things while you wait. Like waiting is a very active activity, it's action, right? You have to do things while you wait, like a farmer. And so the story, in the thing that I read in my devotional in my Bible study, I can't think today, that I read was about a farmer, right? Think about it. A farmer plants a seed. How perfect for Women's Business Garden, right? And we're not called that anymore. But a farmer plants a seed and then has to wait, right? But while they're waiting, they're not doing nothing. They're tending to the soil, they're watering, they're doing all the things, they're preparing, and they do all of the actions that they have to do to keep gardening and cultivating and preparing for the harvest, even when things are out of their control, like the rain or the whatever, even when, right, things are getting hard, even when they don't feel like it. That's the only way they're going to get the harvest, right? So waiting is active. Waiting is an action. And so a lot of people are like, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to wait. Jessica says, I'm hosting my first conference. Congratulations, in 1 month, and have been a little panicking. See, so haven't shown up, right? You need to show up more. This is when you need to show up more now than ever before, right? But don't show up just a little bit in all the places. Pick the one strategy for how you're really going to market that event, and like go all in on that strategy. But so that's what I mean by like not doing a lot doesn't mean not doing anything. It really, you're still doing a lot, but you're doing a lot of one thing, right? So for me, people know I'm launching not launching, but I'm filling 2 spots in my mastermind group, the 6-Figure CEO mastermind group. It starts next week, y'all. It starts next week. I don't have the 2 people, right? Trust me, it's very easy for me to start going, well, maybe I'll just operate with only 4 or 5 people per group. Maybe I'll just do that. And want to not show up, because it can be really uncomfortable when you're not getting the results that you're like, why am I not getting these results, right? I mean, to use me as an example, right? I had that same thought just the other day. I was like, look, I've run this group so many times. I always have so much interest in it. Everybody knows that the people who have been through the group have had great success in their business. And it's the best deal I've ever given in my business. This round is the best deal of anything I've ever done in my business. And I'll talk about that later in a different post. But I don't have applications for these 2 spots, and it starts next week. right? So it would be very easy for me to be like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? Right? Like, I got to do more. I got to do more. I need to just not stick to my strategy that I carved out around this series or around Facebook or whatever. And I need to go do all these other things. It could be easy, or it could be really easy for me to say, you know what? I'm just going to like just go with what I got, right? Like, or, okay, I'm just going to cancel it and do it some other time, right? It'd be so easy. But no, this is when I need to show up more. I need to do like, because I guarantee I'm still not being visible enough. And I'm going to prove it today, later today. But, and some of you who watch me are like, you're being super visible, but like there are 5 of you in here, right? So I'm not being visible enough, right? So what I need to do is more, but not more of many things. I need to do more of one thing, right? And then show up here in this group and really communicate the value of the Six-Figure CEO Mastermind, and do that through promotion, and do that through education, and do that through like direct outreach with people here, and do that through, right? But I need to show up for that more. When, like Jessica said, it's easy to start panicking and want to not show up, because you start getting afraid, and you start getting like, maybe people don't want this, maybe I'm being annoying, maybe nobody's gonna buy tickets. So then, and here's the thought completion of that, Jessica, which you don't realize your brain is doing. It's like, well, if we don't show up, right, and we don't sell tickets, then we aren't it's convoluted. But your brain's like, well, then we're not the reason that nobody bought tickets, right? So it's not our fault that nobody bought tickets to the conference, Jessica. It's just nobody bought tickets, right? We're just a victim of the fact that nobody bought tickets. Not true, right? But if you were doing things, if you were doing Facebook Lives and posting and marketing and doing all of this stuff and nobody was buying tickets, then your brain would be like, see, it's us. We're the reason why nobody's buying tickets. So perfectionists especially never want to be the reason, right? They never want to be the reason that something doesn't happen or work. They never want to say it's something I did that caused this to happen or not happen in a way, right? So the convoluted way of the perfectionist brain is, if I just don't do anything, it's not my fault. Except it's entirely your fault because you're not doing anything. Does that make sense? It's like, it's entirely your fault because you're not doing anything. It's 100% your fault, right? But your brain tricks you. Oh, it's not our fault. Like, so by not doing something, so like what Jessica was saying, by not showing up, by not putting herself out there, her brain is tricking her into thinking, well, it's not anything we did if this event doesn't work, right? It's not anything we did if this event doesn't work. It's just whatever, the date, the time of year, the circumstances, the whatever, like the way I sold ticket, like the ticket system, that she can blame anything else, right? Because her brain is tricking her into thinking, of course it's nothing we did because we didn't do anything, right? But the piece that it's not letting her connect with is, we didn't do anything, so it's entirely 100% our fault. Like, this event didn't go the way we wanted it to go. Does that make sense? So like, you have to overwrite your brain. You have to be like, nope, not letting you trick me, right? And your brain is doing it, right? The reason your brain is tricking you like that is because it wants you to be safe. It's really trying to protect you. Your brain is saying, Jessica, I want you to be safe. I want you to just like not face fear, not face rejection, not have to go through something difficult. What if you do all this stuff and you don't sell tickets? Then you're going to be sad and you're going to feel bad, and I don't want that for you. So I'm tricking you like this to shut you down, to shut you down and keep you from taking action. Okay, so it really is trying to protect you. You have to talk to your brain. I mean, people think I'm weird. You have to talk to your brain. You have to talk to fear specifically. Like, I always say, picture your emotions like they're all around a table for a tea party. And like, fear, basically what fear is doing to you, Jessica, to keep on you because you're the one that spoke up. And guys, this is what happens when you speak up. You get free coaching, right? The fear, your emotion at this tea party, is getting ignored. You're talking to everybody else but fear, right? So what fear has done is jump up on the table and taken the party hostage. Listen to me, look at me, I need to talk to you. This is scary, this conference is scary, what you're doing is scary. It's subjecting you to rejection and to whatever. So if you keep ignoring fear by just not doing anything, not acknowledging it, not talking to it, not taken hostage, you're not going to move anything forward. You have to sit fear down and be like, okay, fear, let's talk about this, right? What on earth are you afraid of? Well, Jessica, what if people don't buy tickets and you do all the work? Well, then I'm going to be okay with that, right? Because I've put this plan in place and I've got my mindset work and I've got a coach and I've got a support system and I know that every failure is a lesson and I've got this new perspective. Okay, cool. But what if you do the conference and something happens? Well, that's cool. I've got this backup plan, right? So like as you acknowledge your fears, you can address them. And then fear is like, oh, well, I guess Jessica has this. And so I'm going to sit my butt down and now Jessica can get back to action, right? So, Jessica, I'm so glad you spoke up because this is an exact example of it, right? Like you were doing something and now you're like, I'm showing up less because I'm afraid it's not going to work. And the next step would have been to do something else, meaning you either would have bailed on the strategy that you were going down to market this conference and tried a completely different strategy, right? Or maybe multiple different strategies, meaning none of them are going to work well because you're only doing them a little bit. Or right, you would have kept going with this strategy, but done it less because now you're adding in all of these other things. Or you would have shut it down. You would have said, I'm rescheduling the conference, or I'm just going to change the date. Maybe people don't want to come in October, so I'll move it to February, right? Like that's just what would have happened. So instead, it's like you have to say, I need to do more, but I don't want to make the mistake Rita is talking about in this video part 2, which is doing too much. So I need to do more of one thing. I need to really show up in the one place and just really be, so that I'm not making mistake number 1 or reason number 1 that we talked about on Monday, which is like not being visible enough, not asking for the sale enough, not because I have a fear of being annoying, okay? See, Jessica, I know you guys. I know you because I was you. I am you. I still go through it. I'm going through it right now. Guys, the mastermind group is literally the best deal I've ever had, right? Like, I don't want to freak out about it. So I've decided, I wrote it in my journal today, which I don't have, my magic book, as Lisa calls it. It's completely and totally inevitable that I sell these spots in my mastermind group. Like, it's been decided and it's happening as we speak, and I will sell them by the end of the week. Right? It's a done deal. I don't know how. I don't know exactly when. I don't know who, but it's done. It's a done deal. And if I really believe that, then I'm not going to stop showing up, right? Just like Jessica. If you 100% were certain, if you knew without a doubt that your conference was going to be full and be a thriving, wonderful event and conference, would you stop showing up? No, the reason you stop showing up is because you don't actually believe in the outcome. You don't actually believe in the results. You don't believe in the thing that you're doing or the ultimate thing or the way you're doing it or whatever, right? So if I had decided, oh my gosh, this isn't going to work and people aren't going to sign up for my mastermind and blah, 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 like then that by pulling back, by not showing up, I'm sending the signal that I don't believe in it. And then other people, I'm going to create my reality. That's what they mean by thoughts become reality, right? Because if I pull back and don't believe in it, then other people are going to pull back and not believe in it. But if I double down on it, if I do things like this, right, people are going to believe. And so Jessica, thank you so much for like sharing that. That's what I want you to do. Like Jessica, it is completely and totally inevitable, right, that you fill your event. It's been decided. It's happening as you speak. Right? Like your event is full, there is a waiting list for next year. Your event is full, there is a waiting list for next year. Your event is full. What do you need to do to make that true? Right? Now, instead of being worried about the result, because you're certain in the result, you just don't know how or when or where the sales are going to come from, but you know it's going to happen, right? Now your only job is to show up as a match for those kinds of results. What would Jessica, who got a full event, what would she show up and do? Right? What would she show up and do? Right? She would show up and tell people about it. If she knew it was going to fill, she wouldn't care about who she asked. She wouldn't care about the no's. She would ask everybody that could benefit from that event because she has no fear of getting a no because she knows the sales are going to come and she knows that event's going to fill, right? She would show up and do 18 videos a day. Do you see what I'm saying? So hopefully that like re-energizes you. But guys, this is exactly the point of the mastermind group, right? That I run and that I'm filling the spots for. This stuff isn't easy. Sticking to a strategy, not seeing results, and then staying in discomfort is hard. Left to our own devices, we will always dip out, me included, right? This mastermind group, it's not like, well, Rita, you said you were afraid, but you're still here showing up. I emailed my own coach 2 days ago, maybe a day ago, freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been running this mastermind group forever. And oh my gosh, I have these spots open. And oh my gosh, I haven't gotten an application coming in. And I don't know, should I change it again? Should I change this group again? Should I just shut it down? Should I just not run the mastermind group? Maybe I'll never run a mastermind group ever. I'm giving you a behind the scenes peek into what I did just 2 days ago. Maybe I should never run the mastermind group again. Maybe like this is over. Maybe like, oh my gosh, like maybe I should only offer private coaching. Maybe, right? Like, completely ignoring the fact that out of 12 women, 10 came back. 10 are renewing for like their 4th time because the mastermind group is so effective and so powerful because your brain focuses you on the wrong thing every freaking time. It focuses you on what you don't have, and what you focus on expands, right? So I was looking at what I don't have, which are 2 people in my mastermind, and that started this whole chain of reason number 1 on Monday and reason number 2 today, right? Do you guys see how your brain works? Because my brain is scared for me, it doesn't like the fact that I'm not getting yeses and that I don't have instant results, right? But Rita, left to Rita's own devices, would have gone down that rabbit hole of like, and I could go down that rabbit hole that coaching's not working. I guess this business is just wrapping up, right? What? Like, I've been doing this for 6 years, y'all. 6 years. This business isn't going anywhere, but my brain wants me to freak out and think it is, so I stop because everything I do every day is scary as hell, right? Everything I do every day is scary. I put myself out there, I get visible, I ask for sales, I direct outreach to people, I have to coach people through some things that I think aren't real objections, I have to like speak to people I don't know. Every day of my life is a fear fest. I don't need to go to a haunted forest because every single day of my freaking life is a fear fest. Do you guys get it? Right? Because I'm out of my comfort zone every single day. So my brain at every opportunity is like, stop it. This is terrible. Why are you doing this? Let's be safe. Let's be secure. Let's shut it down. So it's always going to focus me on the wrong things. It's going to focus me on what I don't have instead of what I have. It's going to focus me on the fear. It's going to focus me on the doubt. It's going to make me feel like an imposter. And it's doing all of this to protect me. So I shut it down. It wants me to just shut it down. And every day I have to make a choice to show up for the Fear Fest, to buy a ticket to the Fear Fest, right? In fact, maybe I'll have a challenge in October, like the Fear Fest challenge or something, making people do really uncomfortable things. Do you see how excited I get about that? Oh, maybe that would be a good free challenge, right? But I tell you this story to show you I'm just like you, somewhere between 24 to 48 hours ago, right? Becca's like, so me, right? Yeah. Right? Like, 24 to 48 hours ago, I was emailing my own coach, freak out about this mastermind and the fact that I don't have 2 people in it and that nobody's applying and that it starts next week, all the way spiraling down to I should shut down the mastermind group and maybe I should even just like go back and get a job. What? Like what? Like my brain is, and then I'm gonna eat out of a cardboard. I'm gonna live out of a cardboard box, and it's like I have to stop, right? And thanks for my coach who's like, stop. You're doing the whole spiral thing again, right? You're doing the whole thing. Where's the truth in that? Her favorite question. Where's the truth in that? I'm like, there is no truth in that. My business has only gotten better every year. I've run the mastermind group successfully. I've always filled the mastermind group even if it didn't come exactly the way I wanted. I've always filled the mastermind group. Like, I've been doing my business for 6 years. It's getting better and better every year. Like I have all my private client spots are filled through the end of the year, except for one. Like, there's no truth in the fact that I'm going to be like living on the street. I'm also married and I have a husband and he's not going to let us like, right. And it's ridiculous. What our brain does to us is ridiculous, all in the name of protecting us. Does that make sense? Right? Does that make sense? But I would have sabotaged myself if I didn't have a coach, and I'm in my own mastermind group, not the one I run. I'm in a mastermind group, right? And if I didn't have that mastermind group to go to like hold space for me, to keep me focused, to talk me through these moments, to help me be uncomfortable, or even when things are going well, to help me step into the next level, to help me see things differently, to help me have a different perspective, like I would be sabotaging my business time and time again. That's why these reasons. Reason number one, you're not doing enough because you have a fear of being annoying. Reason number two from today, you're doing too much because you don't actually believe in the thing you're offering or the marketing that you're doing. You don't believe it'll work, and then you create your own reality. It doesn't work because of all of the reasons that we just talked about, right? That's what people in my mastermind group that I run, the Six Figure CEO Mastermind, that's the support they get. You get 2 private coaching calls with me a month. You get 1 group session a month. It's a wonderful facilitated group session around something around stepping into the CEO level of your business. You get CEO planning documents every month. You get a daily kind of like Fear Fest prompt. No, it's like a journal mindset prompt to keep your mindset is the key to success. So it works on your mindset. You get a Facebook group so you can reach out to all your members and you have access to me through there, right? Guys, when people private coach with me, they get 3 private calls with me a month and unlimited access, right? They get a little more, but they get 3 private coaching calls with me and unlimited access to me, and it's $1,000, right? This mastermind group, this is the first time I've added the private coaching into it and all like the planning documents and the journal prompts and all of this stuff, right? It's only ever been the group session. It's been 2 group sessions a month. So I've added in all of this extra support, private coaching. Also, I didn't raise the price. This is kind of like a launch, right? I'm treating this as a launch. So where people who do private coaching with me are paying $1,000 a month, right? This particular round and only this round of the Six Figure CEO Mastermind is if you pay in full, $1,200. If you pay in 3 monthly installments, $497. That's it. That's it to get 2 private coaching calls with me a month. In fact, when I told my coach about this the other day, I was like, I don't get why people aren't signing up, especially with the price. Like, here's what I did. She was like, you did what? And I was like, she's like, if you had told me that, I wouldn't have let you do it. But I did it because I wanted to. And so like to get 2 private coaching calls with me a month, to get a 2-hour group session to be with the experts that are in your group, 5 other women, social media managers, photographers, virtual assistants, to get their expertise, their feedback, their support, right? To have unlimited, like, to move into the big thing or to really see a goal all the way through, that requires the support and sitting in the discomfort and having people talk you down off ledges and giving you some smart cuts and some shortcuts so you're not like spinning your wheels and you're not starting to do too much and you're not doing enough, right? Like, all of this is super important, right? And that's why I highly, highly suggest that if you've ever thought about coaching with me, if you've ever thought about being in a mastermind, this is it, right? This is the time to do it. Because for 3 months, right? So next year, just to give you, when this happens again next year, it's not a 3-month program, it's a 6-month program. So right now there's only a 3-month commitment. Next year it's a 6-month commitment, right? Because most people have been in the group for 3 or 4 years. So next year it's a 6-month commitment, right? Next year, to get all this stuff, it's $750 a month. This year, right, for a 3-month commitment, it's $497 a month, right? Or $1,200 if you pay in full, right? So next year, $750 a month for 6 months for all the exact same stuff. Nothing's changing. This year, right, $497 a month for 3 months, or if you pay in full, $1,200 for all of this stuff, because this is the first time I've run the program like this, and I'm so excited. What I realized, I've been struggling between only doing private coaching, and I've been struggling between only doing group coaching. And what I realized is people need both. People really, truly need both to reach that level of success in a sustainable way. You need private, individual, one-on-one feedback, strategy. You need my eyes on your business. We need to really deep dive. We need to get in. I need to help you, like Jessica, do all these things to fill her event, right? From my coaching standpoint, from my expertise, from my working with you. But you also then need that group support so that you're able to learn from other people. How do you handle this when your mind starts snowballing? What are your mindsets around this? How do you stay certain in your result? And you get all of that feedback from your other members, as well as their expertise, right? Like, hey, I'm trying to fill an event and I'm using Facebook and it's not working. And what do you know? You have a social media expert in your group. And they're like, well, let me tell you why. And let me give you some help, right? Because each member of the group has pledged their support. Right? Now, they're not going to do all their work for free for the other members, but people aren't holding back. They're giving their expertise, their advice, their feedback, their resources, their connections, their time, their attention to help you grow your business because they want the same back. And what flows out flows in, right? So this is the first time I've combined the power of private coaching with that real deep group support, and then supplemented it, right? Sprinkled on top what I think you really need to step into being a true sustainable business, running your business like that CEO, right? Through the daily journal prompts and mindset work, through strategic planning documents, right? And through a few more features. First time, so I'm treating it like lunch, even though I've been running this program for 4 years. But like I said, it's only ever had 2 group sessions a month, and that was it. No strategic planning documents. It didn't have journal prompts. It didn't have the private access to me at all. It was not unlimited access to me, right? Like, it's never had that. So I added all this stuff because I know that's what people need for support, and I kept it the same price for this one round only. 2 spots, that's it, because 10 women are coming back. I'm gonna put the link in the comments. This is it. If you've ever thought about working with me or seeing what coaching is like or seeing how it can help your, I mean, you can't get a better deal than this. This literally is the best deal I've ever offered, ever, in my business, and only 2 spots are open. And I'm not doing that as an urgent basing, because people who are in the mastermind group get the right to come back, and I cap the groups at 6 people total, because any more than that, you're not going to get the attention that you really need, and it's going to become more chaotic and not as helpful. So I cap it at 6. I've got 5 people and 5 people, right? I got 2 spots open. And so hopefully one of these is going to be you, right? Because this is really a great deal. But this will help you from, right, number 1 and number 2, making sure that you are not worried about being annoying, that we're overriding that we're allowing you to be more visible, step into your expert status more, ask for the sale more, feel really good about it, not bad about it, and be really excited about it, right? And also not letting you get into the, oh my gosh, results aren't happening, I need to do more, so I'm going to start spreading myself too thin and sabotage for all the reasons we just talked about. Your brain does this, right? Making sure we reel you in on that and giving you all the other support you need to execute on the strategies that we create, right? The group starts, guys, and if you're interested, like, hold on, let me put that, because I know somebody just messaged me and said, what's the link? You'll find an application on that page, because I need to know which group to pair you in. I pair you with other businesses that could be of help, people that have similar goals or that have the expertise you might need, as well as people that are like at a mix of different levels of businesses around you. So you're mentoring some, but you're being mentored by others, and like you're learning from everybody. So I pair you in the right group, right? Hold on, 6-figure CEO. Okay. So I pair you in the right group. And then that's why there's an application. The application does not obligate you. It just allows me to see if you're a good fit, and then offers are extended in the priority that applications are received. So, oh look, I just did the wrong thing, because I did this yesterday. I can't type, Rita made me do it, lpages.co/6-figure CEO. Does that work? I don't know. I can't talk and type at the same time. If you have questions about if this is right for you, now this is where, look, I did it wrong again. So I don't know what's happening. I'm making a special offer. I told people I would make a special offer on this video, and I'm doing it right now. And my assistant just sent me the link. Guys, whether you're going to sign up for the mastermind group or not, okay, whether you're going to sign up for the mastermind group or not, I want to offer everybody here a 15-minute assessment. And this is called I'm cutting and pasting the link right now, if it will let me. It is called the 6-figure assessment. Okay, so what's the 6-figure assessment? It's a 15-minute call with me talking about your business in a laser-focused fashion, so that you, okay, here we go, there you go. So I put it in the wrong place. I cannot talk and type. So that you can identify what's holding you back from reaching 6 figures in your business. Okay, so it is a free 15-minute call with me. This is what I was talking about that I was going to announce, right? Something completely free, something that could completely change your business, but it's time limited, right? It's time limited, meaning I'm only taking these calls through Sunday. And because I already have things scheduled, they're only certain spots. So if you want a 15-minute, no obligation call with me for this 6-figure assessment, so we can find out, are you not doing enough? Where are you not doing enough? How can you do more? Are you doing too much? Where do we need to reel you in? Where do we need to focus you? Where is your mindset tripping you up? Like, we can tell you, like I can tell you what it is that's keeping you from 6 figures, and we will know it in 15 minutes. Okay, so if you want one of those free 15-minute assessments, click and sign up for one now, okay, because they end on Sunday, and I only have a certain number of spots available. I will also be sending this out in the replay as well. And I said I would be announcing it here, but because I waited until I waited longer than I wanted to talk about it, I might go ahead and put a post out to the group as well, because I feel a little guilty around that. But guys, this is a great thing, right? It will also help identify if the mastermind group is the right fit for you, right? I know I'm getting messages right now, which is why I'm like, okay, I'm just like, people, I will message you, I promise, after this is over. Reading me do it. Leadpages.com. So, guys, I promise I will answer your questions after this is over. Six-figure CEO, right? Okay, that's it. I'm putting the link. People are messaging me saying, what's the link to the mastermind, so I can just learn about it. The six-figure CEO mastermind is here. But I hope this helped. What questions do you guys have? And if you have questions, just go ahead and click for the free 15-minute call, right? So we can identify, like, specifically for you, which one of these reasons. So for people who just have done, reason 1, right? You're afraid of being annoying, so you're not doing enough. Reason number 2, you're doing too much because you're afraid that what you're doing isn't actually going to work, what you're offering or the way you're marketing or whatever. And we have to find that place between doing enough and believing in it, right? And that's mindset, that's action, that's relationships, that's everything. That's what I help you with. But you could fall anywhere in that spectrum, which is why I'm offering the 15-minute free six-figure assessment to say, hey, like, let's figure out where you're at and what's holding you back and keeping you. Now, again, it doesn't have to be 6 figures. It can be whatever revenue that you want to make, right? So click. How many of you are going to take advantage of that 15-minute call? Let me know. If you're watching on replay and you're going to do it, like, put it in the comments. Let me know if you're going to do that. And if you're interested in the mastermind group and these 2 spots, because again, I can't stress enough, this is the best deal I've ever given in my business, ever, with full support that you need, right? And I already told you how it's different next year. Instead of a 3-month group, the mastermind's a 6-month group. Instead of $497 a month this year, it's $750 a month next year, right? For 6 months instead of $497 for 3 months. But you're getting all the same stuff in this round. You're getting the planning documents, private coaching, group support, everything you need. So you can end 2019 feeling like a rock star, right? So anyway, Friday, 10 a.m., reason number 3. Right? We're going to talk about reason number 3. Hopefully this gave you some insight. Hopefully this helped you have some breakthroughs. Jessica, thank you so much for being open and sharing what you were going through. And guys, I hope you really relate to what Jessica said. And that's why I shared my own story, right? Jessica was being vulnerable. I wanted to share what happened to me 2 days ago. It doesn't stop, right? Like, this stuff doesn't stop. It doesn't go away. It's not like it just, you can move through it quicker. Right? You can move through it quicker when you have the right support, when you have the right strategy, when you have the right feedback, when you have the right coach, when you have all those things in place. It's not that this stuff doesn't ever happen, right? The not wanting to be annoying or the fear that it's not going to work. It's that you can move through it in the blink of an eye, right? So anyway, if you have questions, put them in the comments, message me, let me know, schedule a 15-minute free assessment. I can't wait to talk to you, and have a great day. I'll see you later today at 5 o'clock for my regular weekly Facebook Live. You're going to see a lot of Rita today. All right? Take care, everybody. Bye.